Ahead and get started with game two with Team Great versus what are they called?
Goldie and the Silver Dwarf.
Goldie and the Silver Dwarfs. That's right.
I'm just going to call him GSD.
Yeah, I think that's good.
GSD.
It's a good idea. Yeah, GST. I like GST. I'll keep GST. GST is a good
Well,
one.
GSD.
D. Some of that
GST
enunciation.
is a good one. All right,
All
GST.
right, we'll go there.
Gassed.
All
I
right.
call him gassed.
So we got the bands come back in. We see a Wukong band again. In another one of those situations, if I'm GSD, I wouldn't change too much. Stick with the same bands. Maybe try and go for a similar team comp.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, Team One that was a very maybe during the mid game it was a really close game, but they really turned on the Jets whenever it came to the late game, and so yeah, like really they're just going to be looking for Team Two to adapt and kind of throwing the gauntlet, saying, all right, well, you know what we can do. What can you do to counteract it?
Yep.
They're banning
We're
out
gonna,
the Sejuani again, targeting ban Irulian.
Yeah, they just
do we
really
do
don't want
we
him. They really don't want him on a champion that they can 5v5 with.
No, I
what could he pull out for a 5v5? I I feel like Elliot could play the vibe, but it's probably gonna get first picked.
Or banned.
I don't know. I
I
don't know.
don't
If I'm
know.
team two, I don't know if I ban the Vi. I don't think the in that last game. I just think the bot lane was so
I think Elliot has a Hecarim.
mismatched. I've played with him on it before. He doesn't feel confident on it. At least that was back when we were playing it. This was, I want to say, right at the beginning, like right at preseason. And we're gonna see the Swain ban, so it is gonna be a little bit on the Swain instead of the Xerath. Um, I don't know. I feel like I would have rather had Samdilio on the Swain than the Xerath because the Swain's got to get a little bit more up in your face, a little bit less safe than the Xerath would be. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go onto it, or maybe even the Cassiopeia for Sam. I know he plays that. I know he plays it fairly well, and it's certainly a very high damage move. Darius ban coming out third. Interesting.
Hmm.
I think it's most reason I think it's interesting. Last game for Garfield Juice, and he chose the Jax anyway. So unless this is something where Bounty's got a different champ in mind that just really doesn't do well into Darius,
Or it could be that Garfield, they're maybe thinking that, okay, well, Garfield Juice didn't exactly do well in lane, and Bounty is like, well,
oh,
oh, okay.
so that answers that. They're going to pick away the Xerath from Sam Delio. So ban the Swain, pick the Xerath. An interesting wrinkle in that.
All right, so Elliot pick up the Vi.
I would agree. I
Elliot
would
pick
say
up the
pick up the Vi.
yeah, Elliot pick up the Vi, and Bounty pick up the Maokai.
Whatever. Um, or you pick up your support here. I think. Yeah, I was gonna say, or you pick up your support, get
Thresh.
your Thrash. I think that's. It gives a little bit more appeal for
Yes.
whatever Psycho Boy wants to play, and I know he still wants to play that vein. That's his favorite champ. That's what he plays. I know that's what he wants to be on, and so if you get the Thresh in there, gives him a little bit more safety. Especially since I imagine if the Vi pick comes out, we're going to see.
No.
Ezreal listening to us a little bit. You don't
playing safe.
hear any of it.
But
I like that.
but I don't like the fact that they left that Vi open. Now what is Elliot gonna pick into that Vi? You give up such a strong pick, and yeah, you get there. But Family Man wasn't gonna pick the Ezreal. It wasn't banned last game, and he wasn't gonna play it this game.
I can't. I don't necessarily disagree with. Uh, I don't necessarily disagree with you that maybe they should have waited. But I like the picks themselves.
Oh yeah, the picks, and there it
Yeah,
is.
there's the Vi and there's the Lu. That's looking like it's like,
Lulu going
oh,
to Hoagie.
that's gonna be a support. That's gonna be support. I had to think about it for a moment. It's Hoagie on the Lulu. I was trying to remember who the Lulu was targeting in that last game, and then yeah, that reminds me. So it's gonna be a support Lulu most likely.
I really would like to see Elliot playing maybe a Nautilus or a Gragas. I think that would fit their comp really well. A lot of displacement, a lot of peel.
See, I don't know how confident he feels on him. I know he's played Nautilus before, but I think he played a top.
Master Yi.
Master Yi, huh?
Yee.
They're relying on
That's
this. They're hoping to snowball.
That's
Absolutely.
ballsy into a Vi and a Xerath who got and even the Lulu who can just polymorph him. It's ballsy, but I know his use is really good. And actually, it is a takeaway from Chudo because Chudo plays E also. We're gonna see the Scion.
Yeah, but Chuda already gave up the fact that he was going to pick up the
Oh
Vi.
yeah, he already picked the Vi. Right. He's looking like a Scion here for top lane. I don't imagine where else it would go. We've already got a support. We've already got a jungler. Um,
I like this comp. I like this comp way more than last games because now they have Peel from the Thresh, they have Tank from the Scion, they have the damage from Master Yi to pick up the slack on wherever Ezreal's gonna on whatever Ezreal's gonna lack if he does lack.
mhm.
And it's gonna be interesting to see what Sam Delia is gonna pull in the mid lane. But I like this comp way better. It looks so much more refined. It looks something that you can team fight with.
I want to see the Cassio from Sam Dilio. I think as and you kind of run into this anytime you have an Ezreal, but that bodes well to kite comps. To we're just gonna poke you, kite you down. I feel like Cassio does okay into Xerath as long as you can, because you're gonna have a lot more silico pressure, provided you can dodge those skill shots. Um, and the Cassio is as far as mid laners go, Cassio's like the kite back mid laner. Get all the movement speed from whenever you land. I don't know any of her, but the skill shot, I think it's her Q actually. Um, you get all that move speed from it, get all your kiting ability, and you're only going to be aided by what I would assume would be a Iceborne Ezreal, but I guess I can't guarantee that.
Hmm.
Only going to be aided in that kiting by that, and I would really like to see that out of Sam Deal.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do get that. Cassio would be the better pickup here. Um, Maybe even a Lux if he even plays Lux as well. Lux does pretty well against Xerath as well.
I'm actually not sure if he does or not.
Um,
Jinx and Volibear.
Wait, that's an Ezreal mid. No,
Oh
wait, what?
boy.
That
No,
was Team
no, no,
1's
that was
pick.
Team One.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So Volibear actually going to the top lane? Is
Yeah.
Chudo gonna? No, is Garfield just gonna pull a Volibear top lane?
Yes, he is. He's pulling a Sebastian.
All right, I'm interested. Let's
I'm not
see
sure.
it.
I'm not sure how I feel about that into Scion because, like, if you think about that matchup, Volibear's got a way to
Oh, it's hard.
stop the Scion Q,
It's hard.
but
In
the thing
no
is,
way is that an easy matchup.
right? Like,
Unless he brings an ignite, it's gonna be hard.
even then, we'll be in for a fun lane, top lane, that's for sure.
Oh.
So, what is Sam Deal? You're going to pick mid to round this all out. I guess it's no guarantee that it's an Ezreal mid, or that it's an Ezreal AD carry. I doubt that that's the way it's
Yeah.
going, but
Ari.
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 Alright. Yeah. I know. I feel that because now he has the ultimate to disengage off of anything that Vi might throw at her as well.
I think you have a much better 5v5 out of Team 2 here, at least than last game. The trick for me, and this is something going back to last game, I didn't really see Bounty get in his way into many team fights very often, and he was in a good place. It was just Jax had the priority in the lane come mid game, and he was the one able to get away and do stuff with the team.
Yeah,
And that's what I'd like to see. I think that's a huge linchpin in this.
I think they also need to communicate with Bounty a lot more because there was a lot of fights where Garfield Juice was actually in the mix with everything, and Bounty was off, doing something else, whether it was pushing a wave top lane or was walking down. So there was definitely some miscommunications there. Honestly, I would like to see Bounty maybe hold on to the TP a lot more often than not, especially now that he's going up against the Volibear. He doesn't necessarily need to stay top lane in order to keep that Volibear under wraps. So, and he's going to be a lot more effective in in a TP war in any other lane because of his ultimate and because of like the general CC. Because Volibear, all he has is a flip and a slow. So I definitely want to see Bounty hold on to his TP a lot more often this game and try to make something happen around the map because he doesn't have to stay top. He's gonna naturally. It was something that me and you were talking about yesterday. Was that he's gonna naturally scale. He's gonna naturally get the things that he needs. He's gonna get his Sunfire Cape. It's not exactly a very very expensive item, and he'll be able to catch up in the mid game for anything that he lost, trying to get bot lane in a better position or even mid lane in a better position. So. That's something, and at the same by that same time, you know, it goes back to the communication. Bounty needs to communicate whether he has his TP up, when he needs to
Yeah.
TP somewhere, and you know his team needs to tell him, hey, we need you here now.
He's certainly not a better champion for, hey, we need you here now,
Oh,
if
yes.
he's already won that TP.
Absolutely.
And you were saying that a little bit. Because I know if I'm playing against Scion and like we're trying to make a play somewhere, and then all of a sudden we just hear, well, Scion, I was like, oh god, watch out, because like especially get a couple points in it, it can really reach from Baron Pit almost all the way to Dragon Pit. So it's certainly a great way to reposition on the map if, oh crap, I screwed up and I'm not where I need to be, but hey, I have an R. It's kind of the same thing with Pled, you know?
Yeah. That'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting. I'm interested to see how Garfield is going to play this Volibear. Because Volibear is one of those champions that he's not exactly team oriented. He's a very selfish champion actually. But what makes him so good is the early kill pressure top lane, because he has that passive early, and it doesn't look like he's going to be taking Ignite as well. He's going to go for the flash and the TP. So maybe you're going to look to initiate with him with flash. I guess that's what their plan is. Maybe, you know, flash onto the Ahri, flip her, and try to get some CC. But I think the red team, Team Great, have enough CC in their kit to disengage whatever they try to get out, and even re-engage. So it's gonna be a weird one. It's gonna be a weird one. I'm not gonna lie, because the Super Hoagie and Volibear, that little matchup, or that little synergy that they have right there, is going to be really, really aggressive. So, you know, maybe Hoagie's not going to have that ultimate for a support, you know, and in an extended team fight, he's not going to have it for one of his carries. So in an extended team fight, you know, who is he going to be looking to ultimate? It's just really dependent on how they want to call it. So
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that GSD can play these team fights. You've got engage potential from both Garfield Juice and Chudo, although it's not necessarily as hard of an engage as you would see from like the Scion, because it's a lot of single target stuff. It's not necessarily full team lockdown. But the nice thing, and this is kind of where that Lulu pick play, they can turn that into full team lockdown.
yeah.
And one of the things that I think is going to be underrated come mid game. Granted, you've got an Ezreal answer, but it's going to be really hard for Team Great to get onto the Ezreal with what peel they already have in their kit naturally, between the stun on Xerath and the chompers from the Jinx, combined with the death ball that the Lulu, Volibear, and Vi add. It's going to be very tough from getting onto their backline. Ezreal does start to get outranged by Jinx come mid game to late game. Granted, his Q will outrange, but that's it, and that's just the poke. That's not the actual team fight damage that Ezreal's looking for. And if Ezreal doesn't get a chance to get some of those Qs down, it's safer for him to step up into auto attack range. It's gonna be a little bit tricky to navigate those fights. And Ahri is going to start to get outranged, and it's going to get to a point come mid game where Ahri's just got to pretty much try and look for a pick on her own and just zero out somebody 100 to 0 them. Cool. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot tougher for the carries on Team Great in team fights to get their damage off effectively than a Xerath Jinx. That's just the nature of those champs.
Yeah. One more thing to note, Red Team doesn't exactly have a lot of front line. I mean, they have a really bulky front line in the form of Scion, but beyond that, I mean, they're probably going to be looking for Will to be a front line as well, on the Thresh. I don't think that's a lot to offer, and the thing is that if they can get some decent CC and disengage on whoever Elliot's trying to target with that Master Yi, with that Lulu ultimate, it could spell some pretty bad disaster, because you automatically make it into a 4v5 at that point, and it just really depends. It really depends on how close the Lulu is going to be, or how effective Elliot can be from the early to the mid game to try and spike whoever it is that he's trying to gank for, or himself for that matter.
Yeah, I definitely want to see an Iceborne Gauntlet out of. If he doesn't, Triforce is good, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if he doesn't go Iceborne, he has no way to keep Volibear off of. And come mid game, that's all Volibear wants to do. He wants to find the AD carry and kill him. Really. I mean, you said it yourself. The game we were playing, where you played Volibear and my team, that's all you were doing. You were looking for our AD carry, and you were trying to kill him, and then we don't have our AD carry. Without an Iceborne. Right. And without Iceborne, I just don't know. I don't know if the Ezreal can kite a Volibear.
It's definitely harder.
Oh, yeah.
So speaking on that matter, Ezreal's definitely going to have to farm. Last game, early game, actually the entire game, Psycho Boy was not able to farm at all. I think he finished the game with maybe 94 CS.
I think he has a lane that's a lot safer for him inherently. Ezreal, as far as his lane phase, is a lot safer than Vayne. And I think the Thresh adds a whole lot more appeal to him. And if you're looking at what he's going up against, yeah, that lane can play, but it's not nearly the same kind of kill lane as a Draven Blitzcrank lane.
Absolutely. It's just if Ezreal wants to be a presence in mid game, he's going to have to farm, get his tier, get that converted into a menu, and get those 750 stacks as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm. The Ezreal Jinx lane it's actually a very interesting, because on the first lane, if you will, like the first time, honestly, Ezreal cannot damage a Jinx. It's a matter of getting in the right places and get there and landing your Qs ultimately. But the Ezreal does fine in lane. It's a very interesting way that the power spikes work. Because then on the first buy, depending on how it goes, Ezreal's likely to be sitting on tier and boots per se, whereas Jinx will be sitting on either a BF sword or a pickaxe, depending on how much gold she's got. At that point, the Jinx is winning that lane. Until Ezreal can get his Sheen, and then there's almost nothing the Jinx can do, provided that you don't have an extreme gold lead one way or the other. It's very interesting how that lane plays out. I've played it a lot. All right, stat sheet away. Well, looking like a fairly standard jungle start. I love that it's Mecha Zero Scion. That's the only thing that matters in this game, is that we're seeing the train.
Really stuff going on top lane. Sorry, I'm just really interested to see on how he actually plays this.
Well, if you want to stay watching top lane, I'll stay watching bot.
Well, I'm...
Focus on that.
I mean, I can't. I'm the one running.
Oh, right.
Looks like he's trying to be really, really aggressive with his bites. He has to be careful not to let his passive procs really, really
And it just
early.
did. I think it just did. It looks like it just did. So he's fighting now. Now's the time to go.
No,
His passive
he
proc.
still has his passive.
He was regenerating a lot. Was that all it was?
Oh my god, and actually he's going to be able to not kill him.
Oh,
Now
that's
his passive proc.
Now his passive proc.
Okay. Scion needs to back. Because that's what Volibear excels at right now, because he has all that health regen. All he has to do is get a nice little Q into the E, or just the bite.
And I think that's a classic case.
Wait, what?
We're going to see a return kill, though. We are going to see a return kill, though. Oh.
Okay.
So, we've got a lot of action.
I have no idea what I just watched. I'm sorry. I'm composing myself.
He started blue buff. He went to Krug, took straight to Raptors, and then skipped all the way to top lane.
He hasn't gotten his red buff yet.
Shudo might go for a red buff steal here.
Shudo should go for the red buff right now.
Well, because he
Elliot's
saw
really
saw
low.
that Elliot didn't have it.
Yeah, Elliot's really
He's
low.
just gonna cheese bush it. He's gonna cheese bush it.
Oh, I don't know if that's the right call. Because Elliot's getting some health back.
Yeah.
Well, at least early though, I feel like he's not gonna really.
He has Ari behind him if you can just call for help.
Sam's there.
Oh,
Is the charm
Sam can
hit?
a
Is
charm.
the charm gonna hit?
I don't think he's hit a charm yet.
He's got the Q, forces the flash. A whole lot of action, but nothing's gonna happen. Just a flash burn from the Vi. Well, no, I don't think Trudeau knows he's sitting on a ward. Elliot can go back in here and finish this off.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's so tilting.
We like to call that unfortunate. That is-
Unlucky.
that is what we like to call that.
Oh, no.
All right, so if we ever decide to make a compilation of 5 rounds with LCS fails, we'll be sure that one.
Yeah, I'll mark that one down.
And so already on bot lane, we're seeing Psycho Boy farm down about 7, but
Way better than the 30 that he was down last game.
yes, he's got more fun right now than I think he did at 10 minutes last game. Like, that's probably not quite right, but it's pretty close.
Okay, so Garfield Juice is actually putting up a pretty aggressive Volibear here. He went Bomby Cinder first.
No boots.
He went Bomby Cinder first. I think he sold his Dorn Shield to get that Bomby Cinder actually.
He did. He absolutely did.
I don't know how much I agree with that. You know, because honestly speaking, if you would have just bought the Ruby Crystal, yeah, you get some of the burn off and whatnot, especially early. But that regen actually helps you out a lot, especially in lane when you're trying to be so aggressive in those minion waves.
Not to
So-
mention the passive.
Yeah.
Ward
Oh,
Shield.
yeah.
It's block 8 damage from abilities and basic attacks.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know about that call, but I guess we'll see it whenever it gets more prominent. Sam Delio didn't exactly go for the Ignite Ari either. He opted in for the Teleport Ari. Not as not
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Not
Oh
Elliot.
no, it is not his day.
yeah. I think Elliot's kind of feeling the pressure here as well. Ooh.
I don't know about you
Oh,
guys.
I don't think Sam
He played
wanted that.
jungle.
Oh no, I totally missed it.
Mid lane.
Let's go for a nice little rewind and take a look.
I mean, red team just really has to buckle down here. Red team just really has to buckle down because it seems like they're trying to force plays that just aren't there.
It's almost like they're outplaying themselves.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is that they're really just beating themselves up at this point. Because Sam, you know, he went for the really aggressive Ari play, which by all means is great. Don't get me wrong, that's what Ari does. But when you don't carry the Ignite and you opt in for the flash, it doesn't really work out in your favor. If you would have had Ignite there, that would have probably been a way easier fight to handle. But you know,
Yeah.
not understanding that kind of ended up not exactly getting the results that he really wanted.
So I
We
went
gotta-
and rewatched that. He took 3 tower shots.
Oh, there's a lot of tilting plays here for Team Great. A couple of those plays that when you look back on it, if they go a different way, this early game's so much different. If Ellie doesn't fail that flash, if Sam Delio can get that kill, you know, then you're looking at a much different first 8 minutes of this game, and it's potentially like 3-1 right now.
Not even.
I
think it'd be 2-1 on the red side.
That's what I'm saying. Like, or even could be 3.
Oh,
And we got 3-man mid, but Elliot's here. But I don't know if he wants anything to do with that. He's just gonna use it to run away. Jinx Rocket coming in too. They wanted everything with that kill.
actually,
Looks like they're gonna turn that into a dragon. Elliot's still around and could maybe make something happen with it, but it'd be risky. He does not have any pressure from his mid laner because they just picked him off. And right now the Ezreal's just got to catch a wave at his tower, so the bot lane of GSD, excuse me, can answer that, and the Ezreal Thresh really can't. And this is that moment I was talking about. Jinx is sitting on BF sword. Ezreal's sitting on tier. It's tough for an Ezreal to sit in this lane until he gets his shield. We got action happening topside though.
Yeah, they're
Overboard
just
again.
smacking each other.
The Volibear passive's up. This is gonna not look pretty. Can they get the kill on the volley? They're not gonna be able to get the kill on the volley
You gotta
either.
always be looking for that. You always be looking for that passive.
Samdilia trying to make something happen on the back end of this, and Xerath's just gonna catch a blasting pod and walk away. Good coordination there from GSD. Good run from the Xerath. All the while, they were picking up the, I believe that was the Cloud Drake.
It was a Cloud Drake.
Honestly, that's actually a really good Drake for this squad right now. Mostly because of the Volibear. Like, you give this team 3 Cloud Drakes and a Volibear, and then it makes it even harder still to kite the Volibear.
Yeah, I mean, Team Great just so many misplays that are being caused by themselves. It's gonna be something that they're really gonna have to look back on.
We got a Yi ulti coming in bot lane. Hook misses. Yi ult's used. Looks like it's just gonna be pressure. Although Ezreal's now, Jinx ult could come in and maybe finish off something here if it plays right, and it's not. Looks like that's not how it's gonna go.
Sam making some plays on Ahri. One auto attack should do it.
We got a kill going in the mid lane.
We got a TP bot lane. Whoa, missing the flay. Don't know why he
Nice
would be
flash. And there's that knock up on him.
there. I'm
There's
actually
plenty of
gonna try and see
disengage
the-
on this side. This could turn the other way.
Oh,
He's here now.
nice.
He is untouched. All the CC's down. We got a kill onto the Jinx. Flash away from the
Red buff
Lulu.
kills.
Red buff and minion damage.
So there you go.
So a 3 for
That should be
nothing,
first
and
tower.
looks like it's going to be first tower goal too. Yi Ezreal Thresh can take that tower fairly quickly. It could even turn into a first tower for Sion. Actually, this is what I'm talking about. If you're a top laner, sometimes it's better to just stay in your lane and just do exactly what Bounty is doing right now. Volibear made the TP play bot that got killed. You get a lot of free farm. Oh, we got
nice
a TP coming in from
sidestep.
Ahri. This could result in an Ahri kill.
Oh,
Sion ulti coming in.
Oh,
Oh.
catches him with the charm too. You see, Team Great right now is making some great freaking plays, and they're they're not overthinking it. They're reacting in the correct fashion that they need to. They're not pushing anything. They're not trying to make anything spectacular happen. They're just playing the game correctly. And
Nice
honestly,
charm
that's
by
something
Sam.
and sometimes that's just what they need to do. Even
And it
Garfield
is
is
gonna-
at this point. That's a red buff on Ahri. He's mitigating so much damage. He's not going to be able to get out of this.
It's
Nice
going to be
charm.
another kill headed over, I'm thinking. Volley passive is ticking.
Oh, he doesn't have the bite though.
Watch for the chop, watch for the chop. The flash away.
Well, the issue was he started with the chop.
Oh, he used that early.
Yeah,
I missed that.
he needs to understand that's an execute. Well, I'm sure he does. It's just another misplay.
A very, very worthwhile last 3 minutes of this game. Get the first tower goal, pick up 5 kills unanswered. That was a gorgeous counter gank there by Elliot. And we're going to have another play coming. And the knockup's already been used. Oh, Elliot got exhausted. Not quite enough damage. And his bot lane was a little bit behind on that one. I think if they would have been there dealing damage too, it would have been a double kill.
I
but-
don't think Elliot communicated because as soon as he went in, Ezreal was just sticking to the turret and trying to clean up the wave. I don't think I just know this from experience. Elliot doesn't exactly ping every single time that he goes into a fight.
You're so true.
So I think Elliot needs to work on that, and with a little bit of communication there, I'm fairly certain because Ezreal didn't have the heal, but I'm fairly certain they could have at least gone 1-for-1 in that fight and burnt that ultimate.
Even if just 1 Q hits from Ezreal, that would have been enough damage to finish off the kill on Jinx.
Yeah.
Like, because Jinx was on about 1/10 of her health bar by the time Elliot was dead. And that was through Lulu ult and through exhaust had already been used on the Yi, and so Ezreal would have been able to just free fire his damage.
Oh, nice
Play coming
charm.
mid lane. This is going to result in a kill on the Vi, I'm thinking. Nice,
that was
dodge
a
with
that
the
was a
spear.
great reaction. That was a great reaction by Sam Delia.
Oh my gosh, volleys here.
That was a great reaction by Sam Delia, opting to use that last bit of his ultimate to go closer to the Scion in order to help her peel.
Yes.
That's actually something not a lot of Rs actually think about.
Sai might be dead from tower aggro.
Yeah.
Oof. Although now he can just do that to the tower. We got another action-packed game. Excuse me. Do we think we're going to see any action over the Rift Herald? I think this wouldn't be an awful game for it. Volley would like it. You would like it.
Okay, Will. Sorry,
No, you're
I
fine.
was looking bot lane. Will landing a very spectacular hook. I'm really sad that he wasn't able to get anything off that, but he was under tower.
Will Brooks gets a bad rap sometimes, but I've played against
You guys
this
give him
before.
a bad rap. What are you talking about?
Shh, it's not us.
Oh my god. Between you and Greg? Oh my god.
But no, like real talk, I've seen him make some very nice mechanical. And that's why I like him on the champion. I think it's smart. It's a comfort pick for him. I think it works. It was a linchpin in their turnaround gank on the 3-man gank bot that they had.
Yeah, he had a really well placed ultimate on that Volibear.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So stepping back and comparing this game to the first one, 8-9. Gold is pretty much even all the way around. It does look
actually
like
a gold
Sam
lead.
is gonna go down. I don't think he has any more charges left. He doesn't.
He's got a
he
Scion
has
there for
one
backup.
actually. He did have one.
And he had a Scion there for backup too.
Xerath's not gonna be able to connect with ultimate.
Oh!
Ezreal snipe.
The snipe
Nice.
from Psycho Boy. But it does look like Sion's gonna
Turn
pay
into
with
a
his
Scion,
life.
but now Yi is here. Can Yi get the damages in?
Oh yeah, they actually can. They're actually burning really, really well
Oh!
against that.
Oh,
Good flashes though. Good flashes from everybody there.
the undead Scion was doing a lot of work.
Okay,
Across
so,
Elliott with the clutch W.
yeah, same. Okay, so Team 8 is in a really good position here because Elliot is effectively able to shred through that Lulu ultimate.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So they're in a really, really good spot. They're in the spot that Elliot really needed to be in. 4-3, not the best score KDA-wise, but he's definitely up there. He's got the kills under his belt. He's got his jungle item completed, and he has a Vampiric Scepter. I'm probably gonna guess that that's gonna go into a
Blade.
Bork. Yeah.
Probably
Pride
Bork.
Blade. Right now, his damage is coming from his percent health from the Blood Razor.
I think Bork just makes a lot of sense into a Volibear Vi. Looks like we might see a red buff steal here from the Volibear. Not necessarily too influential, but I'm sure Elliot would want that next. I mean, it's gonna suck, but
Yeah, but
You know,
at the
what
same
can you
time,
do?
a red buff Volibear doesn't exactly do a lot. Oh,
it looks like
They're
so.
starting on Rift
That
Herald.
answers the question about Rift Herald. I wonder if they can snuff this out. If I'm Bounty, I might expect that they're trying it, but it's a crapshoot at times.
I don't think so. I don't think he suspects it.
He
yeah,
does.
Now he does, but it's a little
It's
too
too
late.
late.
For that, yeah.
That's
not
kind
a
of telling
lot
me that at this point in the game, I feel like they're wanting Garfield just go be Volibear in a side lane. I'm not sure I'm not sure how effective that can be because right now, without the Volibear, their 4 doesn't really have a great way to keep the 5 of Team Grey
Also-
off of them.
A Volibear can't push turrets. So I'm actually really surprised that they actually gave that Rift Herald over to Volibear. Because he can't push turrets. He's not going to build Triforce. He's going to build a lot more tanky. He has a Sunfire Cape right now, and he's working on a Spirit Visage to help with his passive and whatnot. I would have really preferred that going over to the Vi, because it seems like she does a little bit more damage. She's going to get a little bit more use out of it. It just doesn't make sense because you don't want the Volibear to split push because he's not going to push down towers as hard.
Volley could build Frozen Fist though, which would help with that. It helps with tower damage.
Yeah, that's such a useless item on Volibear if I'm going to be completely honest. Because you already have the slow from the E.
Fair. Can they just brute force this down? It looks like they
That's what it's
can.
looking like. Oh, and it actually looks like Ari wants more.
Oh,
so they land the
this will
charm.
Nice.
Again,
well
another-
played there by Sam.
Another good ultimate by Sam, keeping himself alive.
Well, and he used it as the delivery service of the Vi. Although I don't know if this
Volibear's
fight
in the
goes
back
Team
lane.
Great's way.
Back line.
It's still a full report. Sion's doing some work on the back line. Exhaust goes down on the Volibear. We've got a minute in.
Ooh,
Got
Sam's looking
slivers
like
of health
really,
bars.
really
Slivers
low.
of health. Great peel. Great engage. Ezreal
job by
Q's flying
Ezreal.
everywhere. The whole thing about this Ezreal is untouched.
Okay. Really,
Ezreal
really
was just
great
sitting in
fight.
the back of that team fight untouched. I love the use. Oof. I love what Sam Dilio did there, where he got the Vialty onto him, and instead of just panicking, he used a charge of his ulti to kind of deliver Vi to his team.
Yeah.
It was very smart. Good knowledge of the champion and of the mechanics that are at play there. And I really like that one of the things we talked about pacing up to this game was if Bounty could find a way to get towards his team and be relevant in team fights. And good lord, he's done that. It's almost like he's been a second jungler for Sam Delia. His farm is a little low for that, but I mean, he's got 3 kills and 7 assists to show for it. He's getting kill participation. He's being very active with his team, and I think it's a huge part of the difference in the early games between first game and second game.
So I'm looking at the items that he is starting to build, and it looks like he's making his way towards a Mercurial Scimitar.
Either that or that
Or a Hydra.
that could even be building into the Death Dance. Or a Hydra, actually. That's true too.
I don't know. I probably would have liked to see the Bork try to help shred that Volibear and the Vi, who are both really, really beefy by their own right.
So now, oh, go ahead.
Okay, so now at this point, Chudo has to think twice about ulting onto Sam Delio, because he's had 2 really, really good ultimates where he's put himself in a position to where, I mean, he essentially just kills Chudo by that, by over-engaging. So now, if I'm Will, especially because if I'm Will, just peel for the Ezreal at that point. He did a really good job because Volibear actually had a flank on them during the late parts of that other fight, and he really helped with that. And it looks like Hoagie's gonna go down.
Nice hook from Will. Hoagie gets the ult off on the Vi to start, but I'm not sure if it's going to even make a difference.
Is that
That's going to be 2 down.
Is that Baron?
They could turn right on Baron. I think they're gonna. They're already right there.
That should be Baron.
This is an early Baron, but I mean they've already got a Mountain Drake to go with it, so they're going to take it a little bit quicker. This thing should go down fairly quickly, and they've got the sign to tank. Very well.
Elliot's gonna have to be careful because
Jinx Rocket is already been sent.
Yeah, Jinx is coming down, and it looks like it might kill. Oh no!
Well timed. I held the smite till afterwards. Pull it off. And that's going to be a 22-minute Baron. I think that's one of the earliest taken.
John, you're
Bounty
right.
seems
You got
to
the
have.
Imperial Scimitar.
I can actually kind of agree with that. I mean, there is some solid CC for the, and you're gonna have all the attack speed and all the shred you want. If you're stunned, you're not gonna be getting it off. So you got that. You can hold it. And really, if you think about it, he's not really somebody that Vi necessarily wants to be ulting anyway. She's Ezreal at this point. So that's not necessarily something you have to worry too much about.
Oh, Will, you might want to think about going the other way.
They're gonna still turn around and fight this. Thresh down, but we've got a Yi down, but the carries are still full health on their team, and they're gonna turn around and kill Lulu with some Spirit Rush charges. Ezreal and Ari on the Volibear. Can they kite this out? Can they deal the damages? Volibear's got his passive. It's not gonna be enough.
No. Ari got
It's
that
gonna-
Melannomicon.
Oh yeah, it's gonna end up being a 3 for 2. Not necessarily a awful trade for GSD if you think about it, because they got a couple of Baron buffs up. But I mean, really, it's the support's Baron buff, which he's going to be by the Ezreal anyway, and it's Elliot's Baron buff, who's probably going to be hanging around somebody else who has Baron buff anyway.
I don't agree with Psycho Boy on that Triforce there. I mean, he is 5-0. He's carrying pretty hard. But man, that Iceborne Gauntlet, I feel like could probably give him a little bit more return.
I seeing the way this went out, I probably wouldn't, but that's personal preference. But he's got so much feel that's being successful from Bounty on the Scion and from Will on the Threat. Ooh, taking some poke damage, but I don't necessarily think that it's the end of the world. I just think he needs to be where it shows up, because he's gonna be the hardest one for him to peel. And without the Iceborne, he's not gonna be able to do it on his own.
Also, I'm surprised that Chudo hasn't built any tank items as well. He has to understand that he's blowing up pretty quickly, and he's taking all this this poke damage as well.
He just doesn't, and he doesn't have the lead like where he could afford to go for the Triforce Vi.
Yeah.
Looks
Could
like
this-
he's going to start creating pressure at top.
Could this be the first loss that Vi suffers in our series?
Man, the way that it's looking like Team 8 is just really more coordinated.
It's
in
like a
their
tale of
team
two
fights.
games.
Yeah. Could be the second tie of the split.
Oh yeah. Well, and the thing about
Oh, you can fight that.
oh,
Oh,
my
yeah,
God,
you can
can
fight
way
that.
fight that.
Wow.
The thing about, if we're talking about Bounty,
Oh,
nice charm. Oh,
the catch out potential.
well played. And the lantern just for safety. One of the things about Maokai versus like Scion, for example, and this is something I've been feeling. Oh, we got a hook on the Jace
Will.
into the.
And they're going in.
Oh,
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, absolutely.
there you go. Perfectly executed into the Scion ult, into the knockout from the Scion Q, into all the damage.
There you go,
This could be
Will.
game right here. This could be just be game. They could end. It's only Xerath up in 5 seconds. Vi's up now. They could just kill Vi if she tries to do anything about it. This might just be the end of the game. Hook won't land, but that's okay at that
Oh,
point.
the charm will.
Oh,
And that's looking like it's game.
This is gonna be
Team
game.
8 coming back.
getting themselves a point, getting them a win.
Team
Style
8
points.
being able to come back from such a monumental
Well
defeat
played.
last game. That was amazing. That was legitimately
That was great.
insane.
All right, so we have to pick an MVP from each team now, since we had a tie. So let's take a moment and talk about this game. MVP. What do you guys think?
Sam Delio.
I agree.
Well, on the first game or what?
On the second game, the one on the one we just
Well,
watched.
we need to pick one for both.
I know. I was starting with the second game because
Most recent.
logic.
Okay.
My reasoning for Sam Delio is,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Sam.
I mean, okay, well, now you made us, so it doesn't really matter.
So Sam Delio MVP from the second game. From the
Yeah.
first game, and just to refresh your memory, we had Garfield Juice, and Shudo on Vi, and Shantae on Ziggs, Family Man on Draven, and Hoagie on Blitzcrank. I want to give my vote to Hoagie on the Blitzcrank.
Hold on, I need to think about that first game.
Yeah, I need to look
Because
at it again.
everyone did really well. There wasn't really something.
I'm saying Blitzcrank because the amount of times where
You know, and actually,
Where-
actually speaking, I might give it to Bounty the second game. Bounty was so
Fair enough.
influential. Bounty was really influential, actually. Now that I think about it, because Scion had some really good peel. Like he created so much peel for the carry for first. I'm sorry.
for the second game.
Yeah, for the second game. For Sam Delio and Psycho Boy to be able to literally live untouched, tank everything that Family Man and Shantae had to offer. So actually, I might have to actually give it to the Scion.
Well, I'm still sticking with Sam Delio. I just think his bonkers. The amount of pressure he was able to put on, even though like he had that misplay early and gave up the first kill in the lane. He didn't back down, and he still kept pressuring. And he had so many little things that he did, either to dodge a skill shot or to deliver Vi to his team, that I thought made a huge difference. But
Okay.
He was,
Well, I
he was
mean,
hitting
so
charms when he needed.
I guess I'm getting outvoted here 2-1 on Sam Delia with the Ari.
if Nolan still agrees with
I still agree with the Sam Delia pick.
Okay.
all right, so let's visit first game.
First game.
I want to give it to the Blitzcrank because the amount of times that the team great was inches from getting a kill on somebody, and then Blitzcrank's there and knocks him up, or silences him, or just pulls somebody out. Like, he was always clutch with his peel in that game, and so that's why I want to give it to him. Just my thought.
I can agree with that without the Blitzcrank. Draven doesn't start steamrolling. He doesn't snowball.
Okay.
What do you think, Sebastian? So we should get
I mean,
Hoagie and Sam Delio in here.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I can kind of see that as well. But man, Chudo really put in some work that first game. Really neutralizing the Scion early with a couple of picks, because Ziggs was having a really hard time mid lane, and Chudo was just able to mitigate all of that and just really put on his carry pants at that point. But I mean, I could agree that the Blitz really had an influential presence there, especially feeding the Draven to Kingdom Come. So
So Hoagie MVP from game 1, Sam Delio MVP from game 2. We want to get them in here at the same time or separately?
separately, let me see. Let me go ahead and let me mute myself really quick and try to get Sam Delio in here.
All right.
An interview? Oh, oh man, I don't know. I think it's a little loud where I'm at. So it's like, yeah, sure thing.